so serious.
I've abandoned my child!
Don't put it in your pocket, sir.
You talking to me?
Keep your friends close, but your enemies closer.
These are the top 25 acting performances in the movies.
The feature that makes me such an effective hunter of the Jews is, as opposed to most German soldiers, I can think like a Jew, where they can only think like a German. More precisely, a German soldier.
We're kicking things off with Hans Lander, a man who stole the show from names as big as Brad Pitt. Christoph Waltz was a relatively unknown actor at the time, but from the very first scene, we all knew we were witnessing history in the making.
If a rat were to walk in here right now as I'm talking, would you greet it with a source of your delicious milk?
Probably not.
I didn't think so. You don't like them. You don't really know why you don't like them. All you know is you find them repulsive.
In Inglourious Basterds, Tarantino may have written his best intro of all time, but the script still needed to be executed, and Waltz flawlessly portrayed a brutal, merciless, cold-hearted colonel who could sweet-talk anyone into being vulnerable around him.
That I must have my men enter your home and conduct a thorough search before I can officially cross your family's name off my list. And if there are any irregularities to be found, rest assured there will be. That is unless you have something to tell me that makes the conducting of a search unnecessary. Point out to me the areas where they're hiding.
The fact that he's on the all-time list despite just being a supporting actor is all you need to know about how much of an impact he made. He actually won the only Oscar that the movie was nominated for. Yeah, I never thought I'd root for a Nazi, but hey, it is only fiction, so don't come at me in the comments.
Adieu.
Jesus, Danny, what the f*** are you thinking?
There's a black guy outside. He's breaking into your car.
Next up is Edward Norton from American History X. Playing Derek Vineyard, a former neo-Nazi trying to escape his past, Norton shows an incredible range that only a few actors could match. One of his most haunting scenes is the infamous curb stomp moment.
You just with the wrong bull. Come here! Put your mouth on the curb. Put it on the curb right now!
Where his cold expression captures pure hatred. Later, his transformation in prison shows a completely different side of him, making the audience feel his vulnerability. The way he shifts from anger and violence to remorse and redemption is seamless and strangely human. His emotional monologue towards the end was pretty unforgettable too. The role not only earned Norton critical acclaim and an Oscar nomination, but it also cemented his reputation as one of the most fearless and talented actors of his generation. It's a performance that still sticks with me decades later.
So I got the pool, and she got the pool man. I couldn't believe it. I wanted to buy that judge a Rolls Royce.
Okay, it's time for the ladies now. Naomi Watts is a largely underrated actress if you ask me. While I'm sure a lot of guys may have preferred her performance in 21 Grams, I still feel that she gave a standout display in Mulholland Drive.
So I guess we've saved the best for last. Camila and I.
It's a David Lynch movie, so I do have some favoritism bias, but look, come on, this was an extremely challenging role, and she passed the test with flying colours. Watts gave it her all, and it's quite visible too. Contrasting emotions are never easy to pull off, but she managed to do it so smoothly, and even convinced the audience into believing these were all separate people. I may still not have understood the movie even after dozens of rewatches, but Naomi Watts' efforts are definitely praiseworthy, and it's a crime she didn't win an Academy Award for it.
Are going to be.
There they are, sir. One of you is a very lucky girl. There is an opening for a job. Which of you has domestic experience? Yeah, on second thoughts, I don't really want someone else's maid. All those annoying habits I have to undo.
In at number 22 is Ralph Fiennes as Armand Goeth in Schindler's List. It's easily one of the most chilling and powerful pieces of acting ever put on screen. As a Nazi commandant, he embodies cruelty in a way that feels disturbingly real. One of the most unforgettable scenes is when he casually shoots prisoners from his balcony, treating it like a game. His calmness in those moments makes it even more terrifying. Another striking scene is his twisted relationship with his maid, where he shows flashes of humanity before snapping back into violence, making him unpredictable and horrifying. Fiennes doesn't just play a hero here, he creates a character that feels both monstrous and frighteningly human. You know what's weird? 2 Oscar voters mistakenly believed he'd won an Academy Award for this role, which was why they chose not to vote for his performance in Conclave, which was also phenomenal.
You are an engineer.
Yes.
Shoot her.
It will take more than that.
I'm sure you're right.
A nice camera.
I bet I wasted $5 of gas just getting here, or don't you think that's a lot of money?
Oh, I'm sorry. I couldn't see the screen. You were driving so fast.
Okay, first of all, Richard, don't answer me by telling me a problem. I have enough of those already. Bring me a solution, and then we can make a decision together.
Now we have the youngest performance on this list. Lou Bloom from Nightcrawler isn't the kind of performance you can evaluate on the surface. I'm sure a lot of people believe there have been better displays from better actors, but that's not the point of this film. The whole idea is to show us a deeply disturbed man who appears completely calm and nonchalant in public with only one actual break in conscience. Yes, that mirror scene told us everything we needed to know about him. And the audience was forced to look at him differently from that point onward. Gyllenhaal pulls off this role extremely well, and we genuinely believe that he could break again after witnessing the mirror moment. But he didn't, and the ending is when we understand just how cold and calculative this man really is.
I think that would be a very unprofessional thing for me to do in my business.
It would be murder.
I can understand why you're looking into it, but I didn't do anything like that. Nothing that could be considered wrong.
You don't fool me for a minute.
I'm glad.
I think everything you said is a lie.
And he woke up and tried to steer and tried to get out, but the car went off a cliff before he could escape. And it crashed and burned, and I was so upset and excited. And the next week, you better believe I was first in line. And there was Rocket Man trying to get out. And here comes the cliff. And just before the car went off the cliff, he jumped free. And all the kids cheered.
Now we have Kathy Bates playing Annie Wilkes in Misery. This is the perfect example of a crazed fan, and I strongly believe this characterization holds true for most stans who have parasocial relationships with their idols. Anyway, look, Bates dials the crazy up to 1,000, and she essentially kidnaps her favorite author Paul and forces him to write his story the way she wants him to. Naturally, you can imagine how things turn out eventually, but Bates needs to be praised for her portrayal here. She's able to nail the emotions, the energy, and the expressions with such conviction that you're made to wonder if she's actually like this in real life too. Playing such characters is no walk in the park, but if I were using an acting metaphor, I'd say that Bates ran faster than Usain Bolt in this park.
This isn't what happened last week. Have you all got amnesia? They just cheated us. This isn't fair. He didn't get out of the cock-a-doodie car.
What did they tell you? They told me that you had gone totally insane, that your methods were unsound.
It's time to meet Marlon Brando for the first time on this list, and rest assured, it's not going to be his last. He's in at number 19 for a role where he barely had around 10 minutes of screen time in the theatrical cut. The extended version gave him 15 minutes, but that's still quite low by any standard. Even so, not only is Colonel Kurt central to the story, Brando's acting totally steals the show despite not being present for most of the film. Martin Sheen puts in a great display too as Willard, but Brando personifies aura in a way that most people just can't replicate. He was quite difficult to work with as per filming reports, but at the end of the day, the final output's what matters, and Apocalypse Now became a certified classic.
You're neither. You're an errand boy sent by grocery clerks to collect a bill.
Well, what's really funny is the bank job away in Sea Caucus. I'm in the middle of the weeds, laying down. He comes over, he said, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm resting." "Here, you're resting." I said, "I'm resting." I know I'm resting.
Number 18 brings you to Joe Pesci as Tommy DeVito in Goodfellas. He's not the main character, but he sure acts like one, and everyone knows the famous exchange between him and Henry when they discuss how Tommy amuses him.
Really funny. Really funny. Funny, you're a funny guy.
What do you mean? You mean the way I talk?
It's just, you're just funny. It's
funny how?
We were all following Ray Liotta's character throughout the film, but our hearts instantly went out to Pesci because that man is relentless when it comes to the mafia genre. It's like he loves playing a certain kind of role, and he doesn't care even if he gets typecast. The arrogance and the brash energy that Tommy brings to Goodfellas is highly underappreciated, and I'd love to place him even above Robert De Niro in terms of overall impact for this specific movie.
I believe this prick. You think this is funny, huh? He's having... What are you looking at? You fucking moron. You don't want to bring the check.
Du önskade att barnet skulle vara dött. Du önskade ett dött barn. Det blev en svår och långvarig förlossning. Du plågades i flera dygn. Till slut togs barnet fram med tång.
Next is Liv Ullmann from Ingmar Bergman's 1966 classic Persona. My word, this was a generational movie, heavily inspiring directors like David Lynch. As a matter of fact, you can actually see a lot of similarities between Persona and Mulholland Drive. And just like Naomi Watts in that film, Liv Ullmann delivers a breathtaking lesson on how to act like your life depends on it. The funny part is that she plays Elizabeth Vogler, a woman who stopped speaking, but that only meant her expressions were working on overdrive. I really do believe that this is one of the finest times an actor has acted, but I also want to give some praise to Bibi Andersson, who almost went toe-to-toe with Ullmann in terms of acting chops.
Det kortet på din lilla pojke, det som du rev sönder. Det måste vi prata om.
I'm trying you. You talking to me? You talking to me? You talking to me? Well, then who the hell else are you talking? Talking to me?
Alright, let's hear it for Robert De Niro at number 16. Travis Bickle could very easily be interpreted as the first product of the so-called male loneliness epidemic. He's exactly the kind of man the younger generation would call a Sigma male, but his pain and sense of purpose are perfectly shown by De Niro, although in a manner that's subtle, not loud. We truly get to witness his madness when he gives us the iconic "You talking to me" line. De Niro had already built a strong name for himself by then, having already worked with Scorsese in Mean Streets, and he also played the younger version of Vito Corleone in The Godfather Part 2. But this role took him to a whole other level and established him as an experimental actor too.
Well, I'm the only one here. Who do you think you're talking to? Oh, yeah? Huh? Okay.
Eating, drinking, sulking. Come on. Snoring. You got a bag for a belly.
Now we've got the GOAT himself, Al Pacino, as Tony Montana from Scarface. This is probably the role that most people like to remember him by, apart from maybe one or two other such performances. His intensity as a drug lord is second to none, especially when he activates his maniacal side. Whether it's making us laugh to making us cheer, Pacino doesn't falter at any stage and unleashes enough energy to keep us engaged throughout the movie's rather lengthy runtime. There's obviously the final scene where we meet his little friend.
Do you want to play rough? Okay. Say hello to my little friend!
But I also want to highlight the restaurant scene where he points out a very accurate aspect about judging bad guys like him. He made this movie so iconic that a vast majority of folks don't even know that it's a remake of a 1932 film.
You don't have the guts to be what you want to be. You need people like me. You need people like me so you can point your fingers and say, that's the bad guy.
Hey, shut up!
You put that howling down there and go to bed.
Joyce, I want my clothes down here.
You shut up, you stinker.
Brando is back at number 14, and this time it's a movie that many of us may not recognize. As Stanley Kowalski in A Streetcar Named Desire, Brando brought a raw, natural style of acting that felt completely different from the polished performances of the time.
Well, how right you was. I was common as dirt. You showed me a snapshot of a place with them columns, and I pulled you down off them columns, and you loved it. Huh? Wasn't we happy together? Wasn't it all okay that she's so here?
One of the most unforgettable moments is the stellar scene where he's standing in the rain, broken and desperate, shouting up at his wife. The intensity he brings is unmatched, and it feels real, messy and heartbreaking. That alone made Brando a cultural icon, and it showed the world just how powerful screen acting could be. His role didn't just make him massively popular, it completely changed the way people thought about what acting could be in the 50s.
Hey, Stella!
I thought my jokes were bad. How about a magic trick? I'm gonna make this pencil disappear. It's gone.
Alright, I'm sure you may have expected this one. Heath Ledger's performance as the Joker in Christopher Nolan's The Dark Knight is easily amongst the finest acting displays this century. I mean, the role pretty much cost the poor man his life, and this will always be cemented in history. But don't let that distract you from the fact that he totally nails it.
I just want her to know that I don't care about the scars. Now I'm always smiling. A little fight in you. I like that.
And becomes an icon in his own right. I don't see anyone bettering this character anytime soon, because Joaquin Phoenix gave it his all in the 2019 film, but still couldn't top this.
And why do you want to kill me? I don't want to kill you. What would I do without you? Go back to ripping off mob dealers? No, you complete me.
There are many scenes I can highlight, but the line that comes most frequently to mind is,
why so serious?
Milk, please, in the bottle, with the cap still on.
Okay, Howard, what does Highness say?
Son of... What I have isn't enough, John, not for how I see it. Look, my name depends on this picture. If it doesn't work, I'm back to Houston with my tail between my legs, making goddamn drill bits for the rest of my life.
Up next is Leonardo DiCaprio in his only entry on today's list. Yes, I know he's got many great roles, but in his own words, this is the one movie he loves to rewatch, and I totally agree with him too. Howard Hughes was a fascinating man, and Scorsese needed a brilliant actor to play him.
That milk is sour. That milk is bad. I shouldn't pick up the bottle of milk with my right hand.
DiCaprio could have continued as a lover boy, because that's what everyone wanted after Titanic. However, he broke the norm and told us that he was a legend in the making. The only norm he doesn't seem to break, though, is his 25 rule, if you know what I mean.
Let's get a drink. Wait, honey. You can't move. You can't move. You're safe here. You're in the germ-free zone now. You understand?
Mr. Sims, you are a cover-up artist and you are a liar.
But not a snitch.
Excuse me?
No, I don't think I will.
Mr. Slade.
This is such a crock of shit.
Al Pacino is here again, and this time he's very different from Tony Montana. Playing the blind, retired Colonel Frank Slade, Pacino brings both intensity and vulnerability to Scent of a Woman. One of the most memorable moments is the famous tango scene where he dances with total confidence despite his blindness. It's charming, emotional, and unforgettable. His fiery courtroom speech at the end is another standout, where he delivers pure passion and moral conviction. The role proved his ability to completely transform into a character and command the screen every single second, although the industry folks knew that already.
If I were the man I was 5 years ago, I'd take a flamethrower to this place. Out of order. Who the hell do you think you're talking to? I've been around, you know. There was a time I could see.
Louder, Daniel! I am a sinner!
I am a sinner.
I am sorry, Lord.
I am sorry, Lord.
I want the blood.
I want the blood.
You have abandoned your child.
I abandoned my child.
Say it louder. Say it louder.
I've abandoned my child. I've abandoned my child. I've abandoned my boy. Out of fear, give me the blood, Lord, and let me get away.
The top 10 kicks off with Daniel Day-Lewis as Daniel Plainview in There Will Be Blood. It's relatively new considering this is an all-time list, but Mr. Lewis doesn't mess around. Every single role he's acted has been delivered splendidly, and this one goes above and beyond even his own high standards. Man, there are highlights here that would make anyone want to give him a standing ovation. The part where he painfully admits to abandoning his boy still gives me goosebumps, and the milkshake scene may be polarizing to some viewers, but they still agree that Lewis nailed the tone and the intensity that was required of him.
Across the room and starts to drink your milkshake. I drink your milkshake. I drink it up.
There are so many emotions for him to play with, and he still executes like a pro. The audience is essentially being told that Plainview isn't a good man, but they still root for him simply because of the sheer energy he exudes. I've gotta say, Mr. Lewis doesn't do a lot of movies, but oh boy, when he does play a character, they're all 10 out of 10.
I hate you till I die. I can't think of anything bad enough to call you. You should have made your presence known.
In the middle of that beautiful love scene?
Okay, it's time for a certified classic in Scarlett O'Hara, played by Vivien Leigh. Her performance in Gone with the Wind is still considered one of the greatest acting achievements ever, and honestly, it's easy to see why. Leigh doesn't just play a character, she completely becomes her.
You should be kissed and off him by someone who knows how.
Well, I suppose you think you're the proper person. You're a conceited, black-hearted varmint, Red Spot, and I don't know why I let you come and see me.
One of her most unforgettable moments is when Scarlett swears she'll never go hungry again. Leigh delivers it with such raw determination that it feels larger than the film itself. Even her pain would feel almost too real to watch, and this is from a movie that's 85 years old.
God is my witness, they're not going to lick me. I'm going to live through this, and when it's all over, I'll never be hungry again.
What makes her performance so powerful is the way she balances Scarlett's charm, selfishness, and vulnerability at the same time, and that too without ever losing the audience's attention. The role turned Leigh into an international star, instantly recognizable around the world, and it cemented her place in Hollywood history. Even today, her performance is iconic, proving how timeless and impactful truly great acting can be.
I don't want a divorce. Oh, Red, when I knew tonight, when I knew I loved you, I ran home to tell you, oh, darling, darling, please believe me. You must care.
Call it. Call it, yes. For what? Just call it. Heads, then. Well done. Don't put it in your pocket, sir. Don't put it in your pocket. It's your lucky quarter. Where you want me to put it? Anywhere not in your pocket.
Up next is Javier Bardem as Anton Chigurh from No Country for Old Men. Yeah, he's a bit recent, just like Daniel Day-Lewis in the top 10, but hey, expert studies have literally stated that this portrayal of a psychopath is the most accurate one ever in the history of cinema. So it's not even about being subjective anymore. Bardem's skill has been verified and validated by actual science. How can you not get haunted by this man? The way he looks into your soul makes you want to do whatever he asks of you, even if it means losing your own life. The lack of music is what enhanced his performance, but I'd say that it was more difficult to create such an impact when you don't have any dramatic sounds following you around. I mean, yeah, Silver in Skyfall was also a pretty good role, but I just had to choose Chigurh over him because the eerie vibe he gave off simply couldn't be replicated ever again, even by Bardem himself.
Let me ask you something. If the rule you followed brought you to this, of what use was the rule?
Do you have any idea how crazy you are?
Bancini, old horse. What do you say? You want to watch the ball game on TV? Huh? Want to watch the ball game? Baseball? World Series? What do you say, pal? Chief! The Chief! Ah! Chief! Nurse Ratchet! Nurse Ratchet, look! Look! The Chief put his hand up.
At number 7, we have Jack Nicholson's first entry on the list, and it's a pretty freaking good one as it's from One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Not only was this movie a gem of a story, Nicholson also brought out all his acting chops playing Randall McMurphy. If you look at most of his exchanges with the other characters, most notably Nurse Ratched, you can easily picture his background and characteristics without needing any exposition. It was an exquisite display, with some critics describing Mr. Nicholson as swaggering, bold, and with an incorrigible sense of humour. Now, those words actually meant something back in the 70s, so it's no wonder why this got him his first of 3 Oscar awards, although I think he should have won at least 2 more of those given his impeccable and consistent skills. I swear, the man is one of the most famous actors to have ever existed, and I still think he's underrated. But yeah, this was definitely amongst his best output.
How about it, you creep, you lunatics, mental defectives? Let's hear it for Blue Goose Randall back in action. Nice shirt, Chesaroo. The Mental Defective League in formation.
Wouldn't it be better if you put her someplace?
You mean an institution? A madhouse? People always call a madhouse someplace, don't they?
I'm sorry. I didn't mean it to sound uncaring.
What do you know about caring?
Now we've got Anthony Perkins from Alfred Hitchcock's Psycho. It was only a matter of time before this one came along, because Norman Bates totally became the face of fear and terror in the 60s. A lot of that had to do with the fact that he wasn't a ghost or anything like that, he was just a human being, just a really crazy and disturbed one. The subtleties he showcased throughout his screen time were top-notch acting, and that final gaze into our eyes looks creepy even by today's standards. It was such an effective performance that he got typecast into playing similar characters, which led him to relocate to Europe for a bit. However, he did come back to do more Psycho films and other classics like Catch-22.
They're probably watching me. Well, let them see what kind of a person I am. I'm not even gonna swat that fly. They'll see. They'll see and they'll know, and they'll say, why, she wouldn't even harm a fly.
You think maybe he should be taken to a doctor? When do you think maybe he should be taken to a doctor? Have you ever thought about my responsibilities? Has it ever occurred to you that I have agreed to look after the Overlook Hotel until May the 1st?
Okay, Jack Nicholson makes another appearance, only a couple of entries after One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. What's funny is that not only did he not receive an Oscar nomination, he was actually mocked for his role as Jack Torrance at first, and believe it or not, The Shining was actually nominated for the Razzies, which were basically the Oscars for bad movies. It's difficult to comprehend the mindset that led to those decisions, but class and legacy can never be trumped. The Shining is considered by a lot of people to be the greatest horror film of all time.
Little pigs. Little pigs, let me come in. Not by the hair on your chinny chin chin. Then I'll huff, and I'll puff, and I'll blow your house in.
And the same can be said about Jack Torrance's character. To be able to achieve something like this is iconic stuff, and I personally can't believe there's anyone who finds Nicholson's performance anything less than perfection. He personified the slow descent to madness in the best possible way, and I'm yet to see anyone pull it off like he did. And yes, let's not forget the iconic line,
"Here's Johnny!"
Side note, huge shout out to Shelley Duvall for also putting in a splendid performance. She may not have gone into the list, but she deserves praise for what she did.
Give me the bat. Oh, God damn!
Why didn't you tell me, huh? Did you my brother? Huh?
Get off me,
you
fat pig!
Did you? Huh?
No!
Why'd you do it, huh? Why'd you do it?
I didn't do anything!
Why'd you do it? Why'd you do it?
Up next is Robert De Niro in Raging Bull. He plays Jake LaMotta, a famous boxer at the time whose name was used to promote the film. However, the movie and De Niro ended up becoming so popular that nowadays people remember LaMotta because of them, not the other way around. There was a certain nuance to the way De Niro embodied the complex emotions associated with a celebrated man with tons of mental conflicts. Make no mistake, this isn't a regular popcorn flick. That only means the actor should be given a lot more credit. I mean, he's an unsympathetic hero and he still managed to win our hearts, so that says a lot about the person playing him. Those eyes, man. They almost hypnotize you if you stare into them for too long. Of course, credit should also go to Martin Scorsese for bringing out his best, but De Niro totally and completely deserved his Oscar for this movie.
We're all feeling like you are, but I'm all like,
Someday, and that day may never come, I'll call upon you to do a service for me. But until that day, accept this justice as a gift on my daughter's wedding day.
Ah, yes. One of the most iconic performances of all time lands at number 3. Marlon Brando has been dominating this list, and rightly so, because he's delivered pretty much every single time he's been asked to act. His role as Vito Corleone has a legacy that very few can match, and despite not being around for the whole movie, he still made such a profound impact that the movie rallied on the audience sentiment around his character. He carries it out with such nonchalance that you'd be forgiven if you thought he had actual mafia connections. Man, just consider his line delivery alone.
You can act like a man! What's the matter with you?
And despite what people say about his personality as a human being, there's no denying the sheer brilliance he possesses as an actor. Yeah, there's no doubt in my mind that this man was born to play a gangster.
I forgo the vengeance of my son, but I have selfish reasons.
I know you have to do your painting, but everybody has to go to bed because there's no coal. Now, Christy, don't push my nerves any further, all right?
Number 2 belongs to Daniel Day-Lewis, who must be a phenomenal actor to have been able to surpass Marlon Brando on my list. He already showed up at number 10, but believe it or not, he's actually given an even better performance than Daniel Plainview. A lot of people in the current generation may not know about 1989's My Left Foot, so I highly recommend you watch this movie only because of Mr. Lewis's performance as Christy Brown, an Irish man born with cerebral palsy who can only control his left foot. It was just as challenging as it sounds, but Jesus Christ, this was the performance of a lifetime. Any amount of praise is less for Mr. Lewis, and I would have personally burned down the Academy Awards office if they hadn't awarded him the Oscar for Best Actor for what he did in this film. Trust me, the restaurant scene alone is more than enough to prove my point. You'll automatically want to respect him more.
I'm gonna wheel you out of this restaurant.
Yeah.
Stop!
He said I have a guarantee. No more attempts on my father's life.
What guarantees can I give you, Michael?
And at number 1 is Al Pacino with both his performances from Godfather 1 and 2. It was a tough race between him and Marlon Brando, considering both these legends had multiple entries here, but eventually Al Pacino takes the cake because of his role as Michael Corleone was a transformative one with a fully fledged character arc.
You heard what happened in my home?
Mike, I almost died myself. It was all so relieved.
In my home! In my bedroom where my wife sleeps! He taught me, keep your friends close, but your enemies closer.
He was given an Oscar nomination for Best Supporting Actor in the first Godfather, but he rightfully rejected it because he did eventually become the main character after Vito's death. I would have probably done the same thing as well if I were in his shoes. And to think that we may not have even seen Pacino in this role at all, considering the Paramount executives were thinking of replacing him. The shooting scene was just what saved him from getting fired, and he capitalized on it big time, not just in Godfather. I mean, consider the moments such as when Michael tells Fredo he knew it was him. Now that's absolute cinema right there.
I know it was you, Fredo.
Hope you like this video. Please subscribe to the TV Regent, and here's another video that I know you're going to enjoy.